Well, we are slightly green on the day. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. Today is Thursday, September the 18th, and done with trading. Very small green day, about 20 some dollars per account. Excuse me. But anyway, mental capital kind of drained and missed a couple of moves, a couple of trades today. So we are locking down, and I'm going to close the charts, and I'm not going to look at them until tomorrow. It is about 1 o'clock here in the afternoon, but we are done trading. So let's just dive in and take a look at today. Obviously, we had a slightly green day, basically up about 20 or 20 some dollars per account. Had one losing trade, one winning trade, and a couple of missed opportunities, as you see here. The first trade today was was this one here. I did miss this entry on the Russell this morning. Had a break and retest here. We had this little bit of just consolidation. We had the nice push up. We retested that area for a move up, and I didn't take that trade. Probably should have, maybe should have, but really this is the one that I should have taken that I didn't take. But anyway, I did get into this break and retest to the upside here on the Russell, and we just simply couldn't go anywhere. Had the move up, pushed back out of it, had a entry there, stop loss sitting right here, as you can see, right below that key level. Got out of the first contract here, and the mistake I made here was adding immediately. I immediately added 2 contracts after being out for one. And this is right around a time frame when on the NASDAQ, this is occurring right around let's go here, from about 10:30 to 10:40. So let's go to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ from 10:30 to 10:40, we were in this pullback on the NASDAQ right here. We were in this pullback on the NASDAQ as this was occurring here, this uptrend on the Russell. And probably should have been a warning. The other thing too is I've not done this recently. Typically, like let's say I would have gotten into this trade, I probably wouldn't have had an add here. Let's go to this one here that I missed. This was absolutely would have been a great trade, but I did miss this one. But let's say I entered this trade here, for example. So first stop loss is probably going to go somewhere here right below this area. First profit target here, and then we have this move up and a pullback. And on this push back up, that's typically where I would add, because I have a pullback, kind of a retest push higher. And that is you're kind of getting confirmation from the market that, yeah, this is a real move and it's going to continue to meld higher, which is exactly what that move is doing. It is still going as we speak, or at least last time I checked the full picture here it was. So the mistake was adding to that, but I did get out with another contract here. So I was out with 2, and then we just had this thing just completely fall apart. And again, just like yesterday, this is the exact same trade as yesterday. The break and retest that I took on, I forget, it was Russell, it was Dow Jones yesterday. The break and retest that I took a little bit later in the morning after the first half hour session, and at that point we had the same thing, a change of direction on the NASDAQ ES, and then we obviously had the same thing occurring on the Dow Jones, and I got stopped out of that trade yesterday. Same thing occurred. So this was the exact same trade as yesterday, which was frustrating to me, very frustrating to me. I was a little bit upset that I didn't just get out break even. Maybe I should have. Hindsight is 20/20, but as it was, we lost about 20, 50 bucks, 60 bucks. No, we were out with 15 and 26 for 40. Yeah, we lost about $20 on that trade. And then that takes us to the ES. I was looking for this area in the morning. I was really focused here in the morning, which is partly why I missed this original setup. I did notice it, but it was kind of in passing. Again, I have a separate screen where I've got all the indices up. So I've got a small screen that's got the Dow Jones, the Russell, the ES, and the NASDAQ. So I can see them, but I was really focused on this area here, this chart on the the ES. Whoops, I'm on the wrong thing here. I was focused on this chart on the ES because I was really looking to see if this area would hold right here. This was what I was really looking for today. And I'll tell you why. That is because that is this previous all-time high. And I was looking in the after hours last night. We made this big move to the upside, and we were kind of giving back towards the morning there. And I was just looking to see, does that area hold? Is it going to hold, or what's it going to do? So that's why I was so focused on this area here. We obviously had the dip down and we pushed back out of it. But then when we this could have been an entry here, but it wasn't as clean. I wasn't as confident yet. We had the prayer high a day here, and we had that big area up here. And so we just simply rocketed straight up, and there was really no pullback entry. I'm looking for something like this to occur where I can get in for a move to the upside. That's what I'm looking for, and it just never occurred. So, and then I got into that other trade on the Russell that we looked at, in this time frame here. That's where I got into that trade. But then we got this pullback, and I got in a little bit early, probably in hindsight. If you zoom in here, we had a wick, and then we had, this was a green candle as I entered, and I thought, all right, this is probably going to go. And this trade burned up some mental capital. So there was the entry, and I actually had my stop loss all the way down here. I was like, I'm going to give this a little bit of room. I want to be just below these highs here in case we get a deeper pullback. But I really wanted this to hold. And just, I was in this trade for... goodness, it was 22 minutes before I got to my first profit target, and it just, we finally got the push. But a couple times I thought, man, this is going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. But we finally got the push, got the first profit target, and I decided, you know what, I am just not, after yesterday having 3 small red trades and ended up with, $100 per account red day yesterday, I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to just get the green today. I'm not going to go for the big move. I'm just going to trail a stop. And so once we started to push higher, I started just trailing my stop along the way up here, and then finally did get this pullback, and that took me out. But ended up being a good little trade, about a 1R. I think I was out with about $50 of profit there. So that's where we ended up after commissions. We're basically up 20 to 25 bucks per account. So, and again, mental capital pretty much spent after this trade, the disappointing trade on the Russell, holding through this and thinking I was going to get stopped out for a bigger loss than I would have probably liked, and then finally getting back to profitability on that trade. I was just done. And the good thing too is I'm glad I didn't elect to, because I could have added on this pullback, and if I would have stayed in that trade, I could have added there, which really, this thing just ended up falling back apart, and we dipped down below quite a bit, down right into this area here from the morning session. I don't think I would have held through that. So I probably would have gotten stopped out, and now we're finally going. So just definitely a little bit of difficult price action this morning on the ES. But this Russell trade, this Russell market is just on a tear. That would have been an absolute bomber of a trade. That would just, I have FOMO. I'm not going to lie. So it's also a reason why I'm going to just shut down the charts. I'm not going to risk giving this back. I mean, it's not much of a win, but I've had a tough week. It's been difficult. I missed a couple of really nice trades like here. Missed a really, really good one today. And I just, I'm just going to close the charts and walk away. And we live to fight another day. So let's go to TradeZella here real quick and take a look at that. So here's today. 450, 50% win rate. 2R, our average win is twice the loss, which is good, 50 and 20. So I like that. And we are down 1,700, almost 1,800 on the week. So we'll have to have a decent day tomorrow. Basically, if I can find one good trade where I can, push that thing to a $100 to $200 profit, we'll be green on the week and everything will be good. But as of right now, we are red on the week, and this is week 5 of my winning the week goal. So we may lose this week, and if we do, that's fine. We've had a good little run. Let's take a look at the month here, where we're at. I think the numbers should still be pretty decent for this month. 3,500, 40% win rate, 1.7, so fairly unchanged there, which is okay. But anyway, that is that. On the week, as far as the accounts themselves, we're still down a little bit over 100 on the take profit of the Tradeify accounts. The commissions on Tradeify are a lot higher than some of the other prop firms. Apex accounts were basically down about $90, give or take, and on the take profit account we're only down 60. And again, the difference there is just because of commissions. Commissions are the best on the take profit accounts, and they're the worst on the Tradeify accounts as far as trading micros, that is. So, but it is what it is. So. Anyway, hopefully we can bounce back tomorrow. If we have a decent little day, we can get back to green on the week. That would be really nice. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. So that's a wrap for today. Big picture, looking at the markets, we have the NASDAQ making new all-time highs in the overnight session, and kind of flirting with it once again here around in the 1 o'clock hour. ES making new highs in the overnight session. And just kind of going sideways, it seems. The Dow Jones made new highs in the overnight session last night, and kind of going sideways, but it is still sort of trending higher. And then the Russell is the only one that is not at all-time highs, but it has gone absolutely bonkers to the upside here today. So after obviously I missed that trade here this forenoon, but. So we'll see where it's going and see where it ends up. It's kind of crazy. Maybe all the indices are going to be sitting at all-time highs here before we know it. Looking at the daily chart on the Russell still has a ways to go. Here's where we're at right now, and the all-time highs in the Russell is up here around the 25,56. So, and currently we are trading at 2487. So we're not that far away. But in any case, so we'll see. We'll see where this thing goes, but it just feels like the Russell, needs to catch up a little bit to the rest of the markets. But anyway, that's a wrap for today. I'm happy to be green. Wish it was better, but again, I'm not going to just subject myself to trying to find another trade after the moves pretty much happened. I mean, this is the move today. I mean, maybe we get a little bit more in the afternoon. Who knows? But we're just going to walk away with a green day and call it good. So. All right, I'll leave you with that. Once again, appreciate you guys. Thanks for following along, and hope you guys had a green day, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully we can round the week out on a positive note. So thanks again, take care, and so long.